Shalom. First, I'd like to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to teachers, elders, and apostles of great millstone, likewise, brothers, putting up this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly, feeding the sheep, and to brothers and sisters tuning in. Shalom. Today's lesson's titled, America, Great Babylon America, Will Burn. Now, you have a lot of these false teachers out there that are proclaiming that Great Babylon America, okay, aka United States of America, is not the lake of fire that has been written in the scriptures. But that is far from the truth. We have many scriptures that demonstrates, that shows and illustrates that Great Babylon America is that land that the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to judge very harshly, and the other nations of this world will see its destruction. Let's go into the book of Proverbs 29 and Psalms 25, because apparently these men have lost their nuts. They have lost their testicular fortitude, okay, and become very fearful, because we're coming to that time now where there's a lot of awakening going on. You have a lot of people now experiencing the hell and the tribulation that the scripture speaks about that we would experience in these last days, okay, concerning Jacob's trouble. And so what they're trying to do is now to try to seek favor with the wicked oppressor, Esau the Edomite, the so-called white man. But it changes nothing. This is Proverbs 29, and Psalms 25 reads, "The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord Yahweh shall be safe. Many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment cometh from the Lord Yahweh. And the elect, or the hopefully elect I should say, all we're concerned about is what the Lord Yahweh thinks about our works. Do we find favor with the Lord Yahweh? Because we could care less about what Esau thinks about us, or what the rest of these people on this earth thinks about us. We're on a mission, and that mission is plain and simple: to feed the elect of Yahweh Shai, as the Hamashiach has commanded us to do. If you love me, feed my sheep. Continuing, it says, "An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked." So we're an abomination to the wicked because we speak against the wicked deeds of this wicked ruler, the oppressor, Esau the Edomite, the so-called white man, the people that the Lord put in charge on this earth. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And that's a proven thing daily when you look at the degenerate behaviors of our people, because they fashion themselves after the heathens. We wouldn't talk about these other tribes, okay? All they care about, and that's right, the Lord has described them as dogs. All they care about is whatever scraps Esau control. And as long as they're feeding their desires, they could care less. This is Zephaniah 2 and 3, and it reads, "Seek ye the Lord, Yahweh Shai, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's Yahweh Shai anger." Clearly these men, okay, they call themselves a Genesis. They were part of that Sakari group. Clearly, they don't want to seek the Lord Yahweh Shai. They're not meek. They don't want to seek righteousness. They're still trying to fulfill their lusts and desires here in Great Babylon, America, by seeking the ruler's favor. But what you need to understand is this: the ruler themselves, they're going to get a very harsh judgment. This is the book of Habakkuk 2, Psalm verse 2, and it reads, "And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that read it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." The last thing, you false prophets out there, okay, you minions of Esau, the so-called white man, who's trying to dissuade the believers, who's trying to persuade the believers to believe that what is spoken by the true prophets is not true. you don't want to be here to find out if Great Babylon America is the lake of fire. We certainly don't. We are looking forward to be beamed up when those missiles hit this place, those chariots come and melt these places. We want to be on the chariots watching from above and see the reward of the wicked. Now, as Habakkuk says, make it plain on table. So from here on, it would just be a visual experience. Lord willing, the elect will be edified. And those of you who are waking up to this truth, you'll be terrified of the judgment that the Lord Yahweh Shemashai is going to be bringing to Great Babylon America. Shalom.